Yo, my name is Major Slack, and this is Resident Evil Village, also known as Resident Evil 8. This action-packed survival horror is the sequel to the Ethan and me winter story introduced in Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil Village was recently released on May 7th, and having completed it about a week ago, including many of the challenges, I would honestly have to say that this game kicks ass. This is the best of the Resident Evil series so far, in my humble opinion. And in case you don't know, the Resident Evil series began an unbelievable 25 years ago, arguably before any of you were even born. I'm kidding. I, however, was right there for the very first Resident Evil that came out in 1996. Had it on my PS1, although we didn't call it PS1 back then. We just called it simply PlayStation.
Oh no, here we go again. Old man stories.
Shut up, baby. Yep, back in my day, we had to walk to change the channel on the TV. No, but seriously, back then I was so fascinated with Resident Evil 1 that I ended up taking detailed notes on exactly how to beat the game in under 3 hours so you could get the infinite rocket launcher, remember that? And that ended up being my very first walkthrough long before YouTube even came into existence. That then led me to briefly holding the world record for a Resident Evil speedrun, having beaten the game in 1 hour and 58 minutes. At that time in 1997, PlayStation Magazine published the RE1 world record speedrun at 2 hours and 2 minutes, and I beat it by 4 minutes. Excuse me a second while I just pat myself on the back. There we go. Of course, that record has since been totally decimated. I believe nowadays people are knife running Resident Evil 1 in under an hour. All that to say that I am a Resident Evil veteran, and I've been following the franchise for 25 years, and I am totally amped about this latest release. As usual, this Resident Evil Village walkthrough will be a real walkthrough, not a bumbling and stumbling blind playthrough. Like I said, I've already beaten the game, and I took detailed notes along the way. I will attempt to 100% the game, and what I mean by that, let me be clear, what I mean by that is I will clear all the maps and get all the treasures. I came pretty close to doing that in my first playthrough. I got all the treasures, but there were 1 or 2 maps in Heisenberg Factory, if I recall correctly, that I didn't clear because at that time I was just getting too eager to beat the game, so I just blew it off. But this time I will clear all the maps. As for challenges, it's impossible to do all the challenges in one playthrough, and on top of that, I've already completed many of them, which kind of makes it problematic for demonstrating how to complete challenges. Unfortunately, not as far as I can see, I've Googled this many times, you can't reset challenges, which would be great for guys like me who like to do real walkthroughs. I know that kind of makes sense because that means you can earn challenge points again, but I would like to see, to be able to reset challenges and just not earn points the second time around, just so you can do it again, because basically in my first playthrough I completed 32 challenges without even realizing it, which is one of my few gripes about the game. I really wish they would have allowed you to check your challenge progress in your first playthrough. And what you are watching right now is the survive the attack objective in the village map. This happens quite early in the game, where you have to survive a veritable onslaught of werewolves, or Lycans as the game calls them, plus a gigantic monstrosity known as Urias. This is a special strategy that I worked out on my PS4 specifically because I can't shoot for shit on my PS4, so I figured if I could pull this off on my PS4, anybody can do it. I'll be covering this with detailed commentary on everything I'm doing here in probably part 2 of this walkthrough, I believe, including why I don't just camp somewhere as most players or most other players do. There is a challenge in this section to kill Urias, who is the big badass hammer-wielding monster. I actually pulled this off in my first playthrough on the PS4 simply because I thought that's what you were supposed to do at the time. I'm not sure how I did this, as I didn't record it, and it was basically just an ugly, panic-stricken affair involving a lot of button mashing and gobbling down all my first aid meds. And I used the explosive barrels and all my shotgun shells, of course, and all my ammo. It wasn't pretty, but I managed to pull it off. And then died, of course, shortly afterwards because I had no ammo left and all the Lycans mobbed me. But I pulled it off. Only later, when I tried to repeat the challenge on my PC with all the benefits of 3 infinite ammo weapons, did I realize how incredibly difficult that was. There's also another challenge here to kill 30 Lycans during this attack. I figured this is mathematically impossible since the most ammo you can muster up at this point is 69 handgun bullets and 6 shotgun shells. And on normal difficulty, it seems to me it takes about 4 or 5 headshots to kill a Lycan with the handgun. So, you know, do the math. Maybe you can pull it off on casual difficulty. I don't know. I don't even think it's worth it. Unfortunately, I already completed this challenge, so I'd have to try it again on my PS4. Operative word, try. Once again, I really wish there was a way to reset challenges. And there we go. I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I took an arrow to the knee. Alright. Okay, a couple more things before we get underway. Very quickly, there is a currency in the game. The in-game... Quiet, dude. Doing a walkthrough here. Okay, yeah. There is an in-game currency. It's known as lei. Okay, you pick up lei in loot. From enemy loot drops, you know, or you just find it around the gamescape hidden in, you know, crates and stuff like that. And, or you could sell stuff to Duke to earn lei. And as you can see here, I have 129,190 lei. All right, that's the way that works. That's the in-game currency. I'll get more into that in the walkthrough. But for now, I want to point out something else. There's also another kind of currency. It's known as CP, or challenge points. Challenge points are earned by completing challenges, and you can see your challenges only after you complete the game at least once by either going to bonuses here in the main menu, and you see here challenges. Okay, these are all your challenges. Another way to get to challenges is if you just simply load a game and go to the pause menu, and you'll see here challenges. Now, once again, in your first playthrough, you're not going to have this option. I checked this out on the PC and also on my PS4. It doesn't appear. They don't allow you to access your challenges in your first playthrough. Initially, I was a little annoyed by that. I didn't even know challenges even existed in the first playthrough. I was kind of sort of aware of it. I heard of it, but I couldn't find it in the menu, so I, you know, decided not to worry about it. I thought it was some kind of like achievements thing, but it's much more than that. Click on this, and these are all the challenges. You complete challenges simply by playing the game or by doing special stuff as you're playing the game. For example, survive the Lycan attack, that refers to what I just showed you at the beginning of the video. Escape the mine, you know, defeat bosses, stuff like that. There are other more complicated challenges. For example, well, here's a simple one: craft any item in the crafting menu. Then here's another one: craft 60 items in the crafting menu. That's doable in one playthrough. Here, craft 150 items in the crafting menu. I don't think that's doable one playthrough. This I had to farm. Okay, and the way challenges work is your challenge progress is completely independent of any playthrough. Okay, all playthroughs contribute to your challenge progress. I wish they didn't do it like this, but that's the way it is. All right, so even if you start a new game, not a new game plus, I'll get into the new game plus in a minute. Even if you start a new game, your challenge progress sticks. So, for example, Squawk Shot. Here, shoot down 5 flying crows in the story. Now, if you find a spot in the game, and I'm going to show you a few spots where you can do some crow hunting, and you manage to shoot down, say, 2 crows, what you could do is just simply reload your last save and go back to that same spot and shoot down 2 more crows. Now you have 4 crows. You see what I mean? Your challenge progress not only is persistent throughout playthroughs, but it's persistent even if you reload a save. So in that manner, you can farm challenges. All right? And I think it's for this reason that they decided to hide the challenge screen in your first playthrough, because they didn't want players to get obsessed with farming challenges in their first playthrough, which would completely ruin the continuity of the plot and the gameplay, and the, you know, the whole flow of the game would be ruined. So I think that's why they decided to do that. All right. So all that to say, let's just scroll down to Heretic. Here's another good example. Slayer, defeat 300 enemies in the story. That's doable. Defeat 600 enemies in the story. I don't think that's doable in one playthrough. And this is definitely not doable in one playthrough. So this involves several playthroughs. Another one, what's that called there? Heretic, here's a good example. Destroy all the goats of warding. I found my first goat of warding. Everyone's going to find the first goat of warding in the village, and I'm going to show you that in the next video. This comes with like a big warning on it saying, you know, Mother Miranda has put this goat of warding. Don't destroy it because it protects the village. So like, to me, that's like putting a big red button in front of me and saying, don't push the big red button. Of course I'm going to push it, you know. So I did that, and I didn't really think much of it in my first playthrough, and then I started finding more goats of warding, and you know, in my first playthrough I couldn't access the challenge screen, so I really had no idea what they were all about. So I didn't bother documenting or recording any of the goats of warding that I found, only to find out later on after I completed the game that this is part of the challenge. So I found 7 goats of warding in my first playthrough, and I was pretty annoyed when I started a brand new game, not a new game plus, but a brand new game, and went back to the game and found out that all the goats of warding that I just previously destroyed were still gone. It's like it didn't reset. So as far as, you know, showing challenges in this walkthrough, I'm not going to do that because this is going to be too much of a hassle. You know, like for example, trying to show this, you know, this challenge, I'd have to show you where goats of warding were or are supposed to be, you know, and I only know where two of the ones that of the 7 I found are. The others I can't remember. I didn't bother to take notes on that. Okay, so this will not be, all that to say, this will not be a challenge focused walkthrough. Okay, all I'm going to guarantee is that you can clear all the maps of the resources and you're going to get all the treasures. Okay, that's what I mean by doing a completionist run. So why do challenges, Slack? You do challenges to earn, pardon me, you do challenges to earn CP or challenge points, okay? Like I said, it's kind of a currency that I would call it an external game currency because it doesn't really appear in the game. It's kind of like outside of the game, all right? And all these challenges that you're completing, you're earning CP. Unfortunately, they don't show you how much CP you've earned for challenges that you've already completed. But if you scroll down to any challenge you haven't completed, for example here, Master Survivalist, craft 300 items in the crafting menu, you will earn 38,000 CP for that, and your CP accrues here. This is how much CP you have, and you can spend your CP in the extra content shop. The extra content shop is available in bonuses, and once again, this is only available after completing the game at least once. And click on extra content shop, and this is all the stuff you can buy with your CP, mostly weapons and infinite ammo options. All right, some of these weapons, I would say most of the weapons appear in the game. Some of them, most of them are upgradable, some of them are not. Most of the weapons that are upgradable, let's start with a simple example. For example, the Lemmy. Okay, this is the first handgun that you're handed in the game, all right? And throughout the game, you get options to buy with the game currency, lei, upgrades and attachments for the Lemmy. Once the Lemmy is fully upgraded and has all the attachments, when you complete the game, you have the option to buy the infinite ammo perk for it, which you can use in successive playthroughs. As you can see, I bought this, and as soon as you get the Lemmy in the next playthrough, you'll have infinite ammo for it. Other weapons, for example, here the USMAI. I won't say exactly where you get that because it'd be kind of like a spoiler, but that appears in the game. It's not upgradable, but you can buy it. It appears in the game. You can't carry it over in New Game Plus. I'll talk about New Game Plus in a minute. You can't carry it over in New Game Plus, but you can purchase it in the extra content shop for an undisclosed amount of CP. I don't know how much it is because once again they took away. I bought it, so now I don't know how much it was. I think it was around 30,000 CP. Okay, so you could buy that. That doesn't require to be upgraded because you can't upgrade it in the game. And once you buy it, you can scroll down here and buy the infinite ammo option for the USMAI. That altogether I believe was 70 or 80,000 CP. All right, that's one way to get the infinite ammo option without having to fully upgrade a weapon in the game. Okay, so those are some of the examples of some of the stuff that you can buy with your CP. You can also buy cosmetic stuff like figures and concept art like that. But I'm sure everybody's mostly interested in the weapons and the infinite ammo. All right, so that's what CP is all about, and that's what challenges are all about. Okay, here we go. One more thing I forgot to mention. Every time you beat the game, you're given an option to save the game. And then, let me just show you what that is, that looks like. As some people seem to be confused about this, how to start New Game Plus. Okay? You're given an option to save the game at the end of the game. And then to start New Game Plus, that's where you start a new playthrough with all the stuff that you got from the previous playthrough. You have to go to your saves. Okay? Go to Load Game, and then find the save that says completed data, and that's your New Game Plus. Click on that, choose your difficulty setting, and you're starting a New Game Plus with all the stuff that you got from the previous playthrough, and you'll get all your stuff back as soon as you are able to access your inventory. And I'm going to show you where that is when we start the new game. All right, that's one last thing. Let me just skip this, and we're not going to do New Game Plus, we're going to do New Game. Back to the inventory, or rather the main menu. Okay, let me just double check some settings here. I just want to make sure that infinite ammo is off. Infinite ammo is off. Aim assist is off. I never use that on PC. I don't even use it on PS4 because I'm a masochist. And display tutorials is off. Background music is off. I strongly recommend that you play with the background music off, because the game is so, pardon my French, fucking creepy. And with the background music is off, you go into these areas and it's just like dead silent, and you hear a little creak behind you. It just freaks you right out. It's so creepy. It's unbelievable. With the background music on, I found it kind of like kept me company. It even kind of gave me kind of like an early warning of, you know, stuff that was about to happen. So I turned it off and it was way better. Right, so that's it. New game, playing on standard difficulty, and away we go. Gonna play all the cutscenes, and I'll try not to step on the cutscenes.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence, the bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free from Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine and under branch, and into the forest deep. Feeling strange eyes upon her, the girl recalled Mother's scary bedtime tales, and her throat became bone dry. Then the Bat Lord appeared. He greeted her warmly and bit his own wing. "Come, child, quench your thirst," he said. So she drank the thick, dark blood and smiled with joy. Passing through the graveyard, menacing storm clouds loomed, and the air turned bitingly cold. The girl was shivering in her thin clothes. Then a dark weaver appeared, and with a click of his fingers, crafted mist into a beautiful dress. "Come, child, warm yourself," he coaxed. So she clothed herself and smiled with joy. Across waters deep and ominous she went, hoping a boat she found would carry her home. But hunger's grip tightened and her heart grew heavy. Then the Fish King appeared and offered one of his many fins. "Come, child, eat your fill." So the girl ate and smiled with joy once more. Continuing on, she soon entered the forest's dark heart. Then an iron steed appeared, bearing a beautiful golden gear. The creature said nothing as the girl approached and snatched what she thought was another gift. The horse grew angry and summoned the other monsters. Terror filled the girl's heart as the wild wind rose around the beasts. Suddenly, a witch appeared, dark yet regal. "Gifts we gave, but more you took," she snarled. "So more in turn is due." In a blink, the girl was trapped inside a mirror. There. She's asleep.
What is with the creepy story? She's only 6 months old.
Woman at the store said it was traditional. A local tale. Besides, Rose doesn't seem to mind.
Because she doesn't understand it. Thank God. We moved here so that she wouldn't have to deal with any of that, remember?
There's nothing wrong with my memory. You're just being paranoid.
It's not... Never mind. I'm sorry. But I'm not paranoid. I'm just cautious.
Then, go cautiously take your daughter to bed. I'll finish dinner.
It's okay, Rose. Your mother doesn't want to remember it. I can't blame her.
Did you say something?
Nothing. I'll put her down.
Okay, at this point you gain control, and if you saw that little dot in the top left corner, that indicates an autosave, all right? And I'm assuming that everybody's familiar with the game controls. One control you're going to be using frequently is, I forget what it's called, but it's just like you press a button and you immediately flip around, you immediately do a 180. That is extremely useful. Learn that control, love it. It's going to save your ass. All right, let's go put Rose to bed. Go up the stairs.
There. It's like I said to your mom. That book's too scary for you.
Up the stairs, hang a left, and go down the hall.
Almost there, honey. There you go, sweetheart. Don't you worry. I'll be right downstairs. Daddy won't let those weird fairy tale monsters get you.
Alright, you can complete your first challenge right away by kicking this yellow ball into the study. Over here is the study, okay, that room over there. You have to do this very carefully because sometimes it will get stuck. So let's just very carefully... You don't want it to get stuck. Like that. Sometimes you can get out of it though. Not this time. Do over. When you restart from where you first get Rose downstairs. So let's see if I can get it this time. That's good that I showed that what can happen, because now you know what to look out for. Come on, get in there. Come on, you know you want it. There we go. That's all you have to do, and that will complete the challenge. And that challenge is worth, let me check my notes here. That challenge is worth 3,000 challenge points. 3,000 challenge points, rather. So you just earned 3,000 CP. Now all I have to do is go back downstairs and talk to Mia.
Is she okay?
Sleeping like like a baby. That smells good. What's that?
Oh, hands off, mister. It's churba de legume. It's a local recipe.
Wow, you've gone full native, haven't you?
Local wine, too. But if you're gonna keep sulking all evening, maybe you shouldn't have any. You really have to stop worrying.
It's just finding you in Louisiana, the pregnancy, Chris moving us here, military training, it all happened so fast, you know?
Well, at least we're all together. You, me, Rose. Now, everything's gonna
Seriously? Think we can just forget about what happened in Louisiana?
It happened so long ago. I don't understand why you are so...
Mia, get down! Mia! Mia. Oh, God. Chris? What the hell?
Sorry, Ethan.
No! What? Why?
Surprise.
Go move!
All clear. Rose? What the hell are you doing with my daughter?
Package secure, sir. Take him away.
I said get your hands off her!
Ethan, no.
Rose?
Get him out of here.
Hey, Doc.
Hello, Mr. Winters. I've got your daughter's results back, and I'd like you to come in to talk about them. How about next Thursday, 4 o'clock?
No problem. We'll be there. That was the doc. She'll see us next week. Hey, now. Think positively, all right? We talked about this.
I know. We hardly talk about anything else. I keep telling you, it's not Rose that I'm worried about.
Well, then what are you worried about? Look, she's gonna be fine. I just know it. What else matters?
We matter, Ethan! You matter! You just won't.
Mia, what are you talking about? Is there something you're not telling me? Come on, talk to me. Damn it. I have to take this. Jesus.
About damn time. What's your status? Is the package safe?
What are you talking about? Where's Chris Redfield? And Rose?
Who is this? This is a secure channel. You are not authorized to work on.
Fuck. What the hell happened here?
Okay, as you see, we got an autosave there, and humble apologies, I forgot to turn on the subtitles. Let's just do that right now. That would be in language. There we go. Subtitles on. Sorry about that. And basically, Ethan blacked out, and you're not going to find out what happened during that time that he was out until near the end of the game. All right, but they will explain that. As for files, there is a challenge to collect all the files, read all the files. I'm not going to really focus on that because that's just not me. And I've already gotten 43 of them, so I can't be sure which ones I missed and which ones I did not miss. Maybe I'll just luck out and manage to do that. It's called bookworm. When you clear maps, files don't count. Okay, clearing maps only applies to resources, key items, and weapons and stuff like that. As you can see, I'm missing 4 files. Okay, so as far as collecting files, you're on your own. I'll try to read them all, but that's not going to be a focus in this walkthrough. At this point, we're wounded and we're moving very slowly. All you have to do is just follow the footprints in the snow. And you can't run yet. So this is this vehicle's top speed. Do the best you can. Follow the footprints in the snow. And you can't access your inventory yet. See, I'm pressing the inventory button, nothing happens. You can't access the map though. Okay, this is the map. I'm on the PC version. I'm using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. I'm using the middle mouse button to move around like this. Okay? And use the right mouse button to exit menus and the map, which is really weird, but that's the way it is. Typically it's escape. Here you have to crouch and push through. Uh-oh, that's not good. Jury some blood. See what I mean? Oh, gosh. Fuck. I can't believe that jump scared me. I've played through this opening at least a dozen times. Okay, we're coming up on our first building here. This building right here. As you can see, unexplored, they're color-coded unexplored. If the building turns red, that means you're currently searching, but you haven't found everything in the building. And when it turns blue, it's clear. Okay, so red, there's still stuff in it. Blue is clear. Once again, clear does not apply to files. Okay, and as you can see, it is already clear, so we know there's nothing in here except potentially files, so you may want to look around. There's nothing in here. Just doing this for demonstrational purposes. And nothing happens when you try to turn on the water. From this point, turn left from the sink, go into the kitchen, look around the blue chair, okay, and you're going to go downstairs. Nothing will happen until you open the wardrobe in the basement at the very end. That's the trigger. So if you go back upstairs at this point, nothing will happen. This is just a picture. There's nothing here. I don't even think that's a file. Okay, so just continue here, turn to the right here, go to the very end. This is the trigger. Open the wardrobe, and it continues. Flip around and go back upstairs. Doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good at all. Let's go back upstairs and see what's happening. Uh-oh. Lucy, you have some splaining to do. Okay, just push through here and you get a little cutscene of Ethan going through.
What did all this?
Okay, at this point you can sprint, but you still can't access the inventory, but you can sprint. There is no jump button, there is no climb button. If you come up against a low obstacle, just push towards it and Ethan will automatically climb over, such as this fence. Okay? Same with the low ledge. Just push towards it and he'll automatically climb up if it is climbable. For example, this. And we can run now. And we get an autosave here.
Where the hell am I?
Well, this certainly doesn't look like Kansas, Toto. Alright, let's go down the hill. Okay, slide down. Once you get to the bottom of the hill, this is the first time you can access your inventory. We're playing new game, so we have nothing in our inventory. If you're playing new game plus, this is the first time you can get all your stuff back. Alright? And we have another building here to check out. It's red, that means there's stuff in here.
Maybe they're out?
Maybe. They are certainly in need of a housekeeper, if that's the case. Okay, so this building is red. That means there's stuff in here. The only stuff that's in here is in this locked drawer. This drawer can only be opened by a lockpick, and that will be indicated. You try it, and then you can't open it if you just back away. And you can use the targeting system on your map to hover over it, and it will tell you that it needs a lockpick. All right, and once you clear that drawer, that completely clears both of these buildings here. Okay, clear this, and it'll clear the stable next door. What's in the drawer, Slack? Sniper rifle bullets are in the drawer. It's going to be a while before we get a lockpick, so just don't worry about it. But there are sniper rifle bullets in that drawer. Whoops, what was that? Uh-oh. All right, let's go next door. In the stable, once again, the stable will be clear once you get the stuff in the lockpick drawer. So let's just go through here. Alright, here's a well. This is going to require a well wheel, if I recall correctly. A well wheel or well water wheel. I forget what it's called. But you're going to encounter lots of wells. Wells typically have lockpicks or valuables in them. All outhouses. You should check all outhouses and open the door. Okay, every time you see an outhouse, check it, open the door, because that is a challenge. I believe it's called When You Gotta Go. Right here. Open the door to every outhouse in the village in a single playthrough. Let me just check my notes here. That is worth... this could be one of the ones where I completed it in my first playthrough. I think it is. Oddly enough. Why, Slack? I don't know. You know, it's an outhouse. You figure there's stuff in there. So sometimes there is stuff in there. So we check them all. See, I didn't even know it was a challenge, but I inadvertently managed to complete that challenge. Okay, so you know to do that in here. As you can see, it's marked red. The only thing that is in here is in this bird cage, but we can't get it down yet because we don't have a gun. As soon as you get a gun, come back here, shoot down that bird's cage by shooting at the chain, and there are shotgun shells in there, if I recall correctly. Once you do that, you will clear this building. All right, but we can't do anything right now. Let's continue. Right here, whoops, forgot to seal those crows taking off. This is a great place if you're playing New Game Plus. You have your guns at this point. This is a great place to complete the Squawk Shot Challenge. It's a great place to farm the Squawk Shot Challenge. Squawk Shot Challenge is where you have to kind of shoot down 5 crows right here. Because you just got an autosave. You come here, creep up here, either take out your pistol or even better, a grenade launcher if you have one, and just as soon as they take flight, pop out an explosive round there and you get all of them, you know? And then just restart and come back to the same area, rinse and repeat until you complete that challenge. Alright, next. Some of these areas I'm just going through just to be thorough for the walkthrough, okay? Okay, so there's nothing there. This is the way to continue. This building is empty by default. There is a doll in this little crib here. And there's nothing here. It's blue, so that indicates we've got everything. Let's continue down this way. This will take us back to a building we've already explored. I just want to go to the end of this road here just to be thorough. I know there's nothing down here, but like I said, just to be thorough for the walkthrough. There we go, done that. And we can go all the way to the end of this road.
What happened?
Okay, nothing here. These buildings here, we can't access them yet, so don't worry about them. Here you should go up to this and just examine it, and then if you back away, you'll see that it requires the iron insignia key. It's going to be a while until we get that. This is a great place to farm animals. There's a challenge to... This also applies to if you're playing New Game Plus. I believe it's called Poacher. You're going to be hunting lots of animals as we go through the game. I'll explain about that later. You may not have gotten 40 animals in your first playthrough. If you didn't, this is a great place to farm more. Just take out your pistol and shoot. You won't have the iron insignia key right yet, but just take out your pistol and shoot those 2 chickens, and then restart, rinse, repeat. Come back here to shoot those 2 chickens. Very easily complete that challenge. All right, let's go in here. See a crate like that? Bust it open with your knife. We don't have a knife yet, Slack. We're gonna get one right now. The knife is right there. There we go. We now have a weapon. Okay, let's go bust this open. You can just press the interact button. I find it's faster. You just whack it with a knife, and we got our first aid med. Okay. This is rare that the game actually hands you a first aid med. You usually have to craft them by putting together chem fluid and green herbs. And yes, green herbs have returned. There are no red herbs and there are no yellow herbs. Those are gone, but green herbs have returned. I'll get into crafting later. For now, that's all we've got. We're getting from here so far, and then go into here. You can check the suit.
Did they just run out of the house?
I believe that's all that's yep, the knife and right, and then you gotta go check this curtain over here.
No, friendly.
Who are you? Who sent you?
Nobody. There was an accident down on the road and... What's going on?
Oh, no. They're coming.
Who is? What the hell was that?
You have a gun?
What?
Please tell me you have a gun.
No, why would I?
Take it! Take it! Tell me it's out there.
Hey, are you listening?
Hey!
What the... Shit! Dead body?
Yeah, do you think?
There's more.
Okay, so now we have a gun and 20 bullets, 10 in the clip, 10 spare, and a knife and a first aid. Your default weapon until further notice rather, is your knife. All right, forget about using your bullets. We're only playing on standard, so we can get away with using the knife.
Jesus Christ. What the hell is wrong with this place?
Ouch.
What the fuck was that?
Okay, our first enemy. I'm assuming everybody knows how to block. That's the first thing you're gonna do. You're gonna bring up your knife, and block. Wait for him to attack, and then do 2 swipes. And let me just show you the difference between blocking and not blocking. Okay, I'm just gonna let him hit us. This is for demonstration purposes. That's once. This is standard. That's twice. As you can see, we took a lot of damage already. We'll probably be able to sustain 2 more hits, maybe 3. And the next one's gonna kill us. No, one more. Yeah, this is typical. 5 hits, 5 full bites. This should do it. That's standard. On hardcore, he can sometimes kill you with 2 bites. If you're a little bit damaged, he can sometimes one-shot you. Like, if you're a little bit damaged, like, you know, let's say you blocked a couple times, and then he comes in, sometimes he'll just kill you the first time. First bite. So that's the difference between hardcore and standard. Let's restart. So that was 5 hits. Now I'm going to show you the difference blocking, okay? That's 1 hit. That's 2 hits. That's right, big boy. Come and get it. It's lunchtime. That's 3 hits. That's 4 hits. That's 5 hits. Okay, get the idea? Still in the green. Are you taking damage, Slack? Yes, a little bit. You are taking a little bit of damage. If you keep letting him do that, he'll eventually damage you into the yellow and then to the red and eventually kill you. Okay, but that's the difference. Okay, so block, block, block. All right, let me just restart because I want to start with like this, like super fresh Ethan, and then we're gonna take this guy out using only the knife. Block, swipe, swipe. Try to aim for his head. And then block right again right afterwards. Block, swipe, swipe. Block right away right afterwards. You can only get away with 2 swipes. Sometimes 3, but I wouldn't rely on it. Block, swipe, swipe. Wait for it. swipe. Block, swipe, swipe. On hardcore, when you're blocking, you take a lot more damage. Block, swipe, swipe. Block, swipe, swipe. Block, swipe, swipe. And that's it, he's down. Now this first one never gives up any loot.
What the hell?
Okay, but we're still in good shape. And we saved all our bullets. And we saved our first aid med. Alright? In here, make sure you check this out first. This building right here. There is a chem fluid here. And a green herb here. Okay, that will clear this building. As you can see, it's marked blue. And resources that are used for crafting don't take up any space in your inventory. Alright? So you can just press whatever button that is to get over to your crafting screen. And here we can craft a first aid bed if you so desire by mixing the green herb and the chem fluid. Generally, if you want to save space in your inventory, don't craft unless you need to. Okay, because like I said, resources don't take any space in your inventory. So if you like immediately craft all the first aid meds that you can, you're going to be filling up your inventory. I personally like to have at least 2 first aid meds always as a kind of like a safety measure. So I'm going to craft 1 here. And I also like lots of ammo. Anyways, we'll craft more ammo later on when we get the resources. Alright? That's it. That's this area clear. This chain requires something. That something is in here. It's a bolt cutter. Bolt cutter is over here. Grab it. By grabbing that, you clear this house. Go over here. Use the bolt cutter on this thing here. And we're going for our next encounter in this house here. This is the only place you can go. In you go. Run to the end here. Grab these handgun bullets. Flip around. Don't worry about the door. That always happens. Up we go. Gonna grab this chem fluid here and carefully approach this window. Sometimes this guy can damage you, so wait for him to go up first and grab those handgun bullets, and that will clear this house. Now, you want to run downstairs to the bottom of the stairs, flip around, go back upstairs. That's all you have to do, and go and tuck yourself in this corner and wait. Actually, it's best to go right here. Okay, now let me explain something here. This is where another enemy is going to come in. It's only one. And he's always going to come in right there. What you can do is, as he's coming up the stairs, hold down the aim button, and when you hold down the aim button and press the tab, Ethan will stab. So what we're going to do is, he's going to be right there. We're going to stab, swipe, swipe, to get in a couple of cheap shots before he comes up the stairs. Okay, so it'll make it a lot easier to kill him. Okay, so stab, swipe, swipe, and park yourself right about here, and wait for him to come in. He's going to come in right there. Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. Here he is. Stab, swipe, swipe. Okay, back up. You could get in a couple more shots if you feel brave, but let's just wait for him. And it's the same deal here. Block, swipe, swipe. This is the only guy you have to kill. Block, swipe, swipe. Block, swipe, swipe. Block, swipe, swipe. Swipe. block, swipe, swipe. And we got him. And he gave up some ammo. Or some resources. This time it was gunpowder. It's completely random. And that's it. That will end this encounter. Alright? Now you may be thinking, you can just do that through the whole game. No, you can't. This is a strategy that only works when you're one-on-one with the Lycans. As soon as you got 2 or more Lycans, this strategy is going to cave right in. Because as you're attacking one Lycan, the other one's going to be attacking you. He's going to chomp on you. And it just turns into a horrible war of attrition.
Over?
And there is another move you can do where apparently if you press block at the right time while the guy's attacking you, you can kick him away. This is kind of, I don't know if it's like, what I end up doing if ever a Lycan grabs me, I just spam the block button and typically I can manage to pull it off. Let's just spam it and you can manage to kick him away. Alright, so that's it. We're gonna get an autosave.
To Louisa's house near the fields.
Louisa's house in the fields. Okay, and as soon as we go, I forgot to tell you that, but it doesn't make a difference here. It makes no difference whatsoever. You can use this as a barricade. See that? Hold down, and you push this across. But when you come here, it makes no difference whatsoever whether you put that barricade up or not. This is the only place where it doesn't make a difference. Okay, so I wouldn't bother. Alright, and you get an autosave here, and this is where it gets really hellacious. Coming up next is the survive the attack objective, like I showed you in the beginning of the video. And I'm going to show you my complete strategy on how to survive this first thing next video. So that's it. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you thought this was remotely entertaining and or informative, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, stuff like that there, and I'll see you next time for some more Resident Evil Village. Hey guys, real walkthroughs like these are an endangered species here on YouTube. For a complete lowdown on the YouTube video game walkthrough scene, check out my Patreon page, and please consider making a donation to yours truly, Major Slack, to help keep real walkthroughs alive on YouTube. You can donate as little as $1. That's $1, that's all. That's all it takes, alright? Thanks a lot, really appreciate it.